Hey everyone, let's chat about virtual learning. I feel like if we learned anything from COVID, the pandemic, we learned that there's a lot of things that we can do at home that maybe we didn't know we could do. And part of that could be learning. If your kids traditionally went to public school, maybe you learned how accessible things are to you if you have an internet connection and a very basic device. You can do all kinds of things. So this is becoming an increasingly popular way for kids to engage with content just from the comfort of their home. So, whether that is you or whether you're just looking for some ideas to spice up your homeschool day, these are some ideas that I have found to be fun and exciting for kids. So you can go on virtual field trips. There are lots of different museums and historical sites and even national parks that have virtual tours online where you can like scroll and it's like you're there looking around. Obviously, it's not the same. Yes, if you have the ability financially and in your schedule to go and actually take the field trip, going there is always better. But if that's not in the realm of possibilities, doing the virtual is the next best thing. If you have multiple kids with different interests, you could give them each a virtual experience and you wouldn't have to be going all over creation to get them exposed to what they want to learn about. So, field trips are super fun if you can do it. If not, virtual is the next best thing. I did find a website that I will be dropping in the description that went through and listed out lots of different virtual experiences, and it did a pros and cons, and then it has the website there. So I'm just going to touch on a few of them, and I will link that in the description, and you can go and check it out. They did a really good job of laying it all out there for you. The one that I saw that I really liked was a state park, national park, Yellowstone, and it was actually videos that they took of someone walking around so that you could see like you were actually, it felt like you were actually there at Yellowstone. And then there was information, but the videos were super cool. There was also a 3D view of the White House. That one was pretty neat. Same thing, you're just kind of looking around like you would if you were there. They also have one of the Smithsonian Museum of Natural History. Definitely on my bucket list to go there. But we're a little bit further away now than we were back on the East Coast. That one, same thing, lots of information, and it's like the virtual field trip experience. Another one that may not be as accessible is a dissection. If you have someone who is really into science, and as your kids get older into the upper grades, dissecting is super fun. It's a great learning experience, but it can be a little messy and it can be a little costly. So if you don't have the capability to do an actual dissection or it grosses you out, you can do the virtual dissection and they can still see the anatomy of the animal and practice kind of labeling if that's what you want them to do, or see how all of the systems and things work together without having to actually have the actual specimen in your house and then figure out disposing of it and all of the fun stuff that comes with that. I used to teach science, so dissections don't bother me. But if that makes you a little bit squeamish, there are lots of virtual options out there. And allowing them to learn about the anatomy and the biology is really important. I really think that we need to learn even more about our body than we already know, because science is always evolving, right? It's always learning new things and making changes and disproving old theories, and you just need to be able to kind of roll with it, right? So if you're dissecting an animal and kind of figuring it all out, you're working on those critical thinking skills and kind of really figuring it all out. Instead of learning about things in isolation, you're really putting it all together so you get the whole picture. And it's in a controlled environment because it's all virtual, so you don't have to worry about all the other things. Another thing that was really cool is a live animal cam. I have a daughter who loves animals. She wants to be a vet. So there are zoos and aquariums all around the world that have live streaming of their animals. So that can give the kids opportunity to observe and they can learn about the animals. Maybe they haven't been able to see them in person at the zoo, or maybe they haven't been able to get up as close as the camera is. The only drawback with those is you kind of have to know the habits of that animal. When I checked, it must have been a bad time because I didn't really see many animals. Maybe they were sleeping or eating or something, and where the camera wasn't picking up any animal. Also, depending on where it is in the world and where you are in the world, it might be broad daylight where you are and nighttime where the camera is. So you got to kind of, that one's a little trickier because you're working with animals, they might be unpredictable, and depending on the time of day, it might not be the best time to check in. But it's something cool to check out, and then once you do it a few times, maybe you can kind of get the rhythm of the animal or kind of the feel for the when the camera would be best to see the actual animal. San Diego Zoo has live cameras. So I will drop that link in the comments and you can go and check it out and experience some virtual learning on your own.